Here's Homer enjoying a quiet beer at home. And here's Homer crushing a 40-gallon beer at a concert.
All for Homer! All for Homer!
Well, by the end, we'll have seen Homer go from Jaeger lover to becoming Duff Man to downing enough cans to build life-sized landmarks. And we're gonna do it by going through each episode and keeping score of how many gallons of the stuff this Duff head puts away. Starting with the episode, The New Kid on the Block. Living next door to The Simpsons is a challenge, if we're putting it mildly. You just ask poor old Ned Flanders. But that's just one side of the fence, because there's another house next to The Simpsons. They decide they're gonna stick it up for sale, mainly due to stuff like this.
Why? Thought you could get away, huh?
Goodbye.
Yeah, no one's gonna buy a house next to that. So Homer tries to clean up his act and keeps his binge drinking behind closed doors. And it works. There's some new neighbors in town, and Bart starts taking a shine to one of them.
Fortune.
Huh?
Oh, man. You're gonna be rich.
Whoa!
There's your mansion. There's a tennis court. And there's a swimming pool.
We've all done it as kids, ended up having a crush on someone way older than us, but Bart doesn't know what he's doing in the game and starts acting pretty weirdly towards Laura.
Why, Laura, what a pleasant surprise.
Cute. What do you guys want for dinner?
I don't care. Ask Hef over there. Lady's choice.
Obviously that doesn't work, and Bart's pretty confused by all this girl stuff, so he turns to his only male role model for help.
A woman is a lot like, a refrigerator. They're about 6 feet tall, 300 pounds. They make ice.
Yeah, I mean Homer. Come on, Homer, you can do better than that. Why not use a better analogy, like, say, beer?
Actually, a woman is more like a beer. They smell good. They look good. You'd step over your own mother just to get one.
Ooh, so close. But I think Bart gets the message anyway, even if he's got to sit back and watch his old man knock back the cans.
But you can't stop at one. You want to drink another woman. So I says, yeah, if you want that money, come and find it, because I don't know where it is, you baloney.
Bart hasn't got that good of an attention span that he's gonna sit while his dad drinks for hours. So that means that Homer drank those 12 beers in like 45 minutes at most? Jeez. But hey, at least Bart can go and speak to Laura and lay it all on the line.
I have a boyfriend. You won't be needing this.
The poor little guy. Everyone's heart gets broken though, and instead of coming clean like he should, Bart bottles his pain and takes it out on her boyfriend Jimbo by luring Moe to his house while Laura and Jimbo are babysitting.
Your second mistake, buddy boy.
Please, dude, don't hurt me. Oh, man.
After seeing Jimbo cry, Moe lets him live and Laura breaks up with him. So while Bart doesn't get his girl, I guess he does get even.
You know, if you were only old enough to grow a bad teenage mustache, I'd go out with you in a second.
So the moral of the story is, folks, always bottle your feelings. Wait, no, that doesn't sound right. Oh, it doesn't matter. We're here for Homer anyway. And while his son was having his heart broken, we saw Homer sink 15 cans of the good stuff. Just don't ask him for career advice, because that's when he starts saying The Office is like a bottle of whiskey. Have you guys ever heard that phrase, like a kid in a candy store? Well, for Homer, his version of that is like a drunk in a Duff brewery, and that's exactly where he finds himself in the next episode on our list.
This is the most important man on the tour. He's in charge of quality control.
Fine, mouse, rat, fine, syringe, fine, nose.
Hey, at least they care. Anyway, while Homer and Barney are in the brewery, it'd be a shame if they didn't have a few free samples. We don't actually see Homer drinking the Duff, but we do know that he and Barney have had their fair share.
Had enough. Are you crazy? We still haven't tried raspberry Duff, lady Duff, tartar control Duff.
Obviously, Barney goes way overboard, but I think it's safe to say that Homer's had at least 2 beers worth of Duff from each barrel, so that's 2 for regular, dry, light, and dark, 8 in total, which by Homer's standards is fracking nothing, but he's gonna be way over the limit if he gets behind the wheel. Yeah, you know where I'm going with this.
I guess you're free to...
Give him the breathalyzer! Huh?
You're under arrest.
Way to go, Barney. You've got your best friend banged up. Homer gets thrown into the drunk tank to sober up, but that's the least of his concerns. Due to his DUI charge, he's had his license taken away from him, which means no more driving to work.
Have a good day at work, honey.
But more importantly, it's made him realize that he actually might have a problem when it comes to drinking. Might! Being the biggest stretch in human history.
So they say I might have a problem.
Homie, do you ever drink alone?
Does the Lord count as a person?
No.
then yes.
Like we're dealing with a full-blown addict over here.
You ever drink to escape from reality?
Seeing that her husband is clearly being controlled by alcohol, Marge realizes that the only way she's gonna get through to him is by asking him to go cold turkey. For her. He surprisingly agrees and ends up pouring what's left of his stash down the sink while reminiscing about the past.
I drank some very good beer. I drank some very good beer I purchased with a fake ID. My name was Brian McGee. I stayed up listening to Queen when I was 17.
Despite clearly missing out on that fizzy fermented goodness, Homer somehow makes it through the whole month.
30 days.
I'm proud of you, homie.
Marge, I'm going to Moe's. Send the kids to the neighbors. I'm coming back loaded.
So he heads off to his old stomping ground to wet his whistle, but having a glass of the suds in front of him after a full 30 days makes him realize that he may not need it, and that he should be spending his time elsewhere.
I've got a date with my wife.
You'll be back. And so will you. And you. And you.
Not sure why Moe got really weird with us at the end there, but anyway, Homer realizes that his wife is more important than his boy life. Although despite this episode being about him having to give up the stuff, he does manage to still drink 16 beers or 1.6 gallons. Homer's been drinking with the boys down at Moe's for years, and by all accounts, they're the best of friends. But that whole dynamic is pushed right to the edge when Barney decides he's had enough boozing. Mainly because he can't remember what happened on his birthday.
I threw you a party at my house. Why would I not remember my own?
I wonder why that is, Barney. Maybe it's something to do with the barrels of alcohol you drink every day? It's a good thing the boys taped his party, though. Now he has proof.
And when we die, there's going to be a planet for the French, and we'll all be a lot happier.
Mr. Gumble, you're upsetting me.
Yep, all the way to the back you can see Homer sipping on that beer. Barney's a little tipsy in that video, but not blackout worthy. That's far worse.
You're making a complete fool of your... Oh, it's just Barney.
Yeah, if I was Barney, I'd not only want to forget that, but I'd want that videotape burned to a crisp. And he feels the same way, so much so that he decides he's actually gonna clean up his act. Try to go sober for a little while. Plus, the boys got him helicopter flying lessons for his birthday, which is a great present for a drunkard.
Quit drinking! No, I mean it! You won't see me here again, ever!
Good for him. Although Barney doesn't find it easy to stay away and turns to Homer for help, which is a bit like asking Ozzy Osbourne to look after your dad.
I'll straighten you out right after I finish this beer. Oh man, that's sweet.
Homer takes Barney to AA meetings and tries to get him in touch with his inner peace and all that healing mumbo-jumbo, but with Barney gone, the boys down at Moe's need a new punching bag, and there's no easier target than Homer.
I am not Barney.
See, Homer? It's not so bad. Now dance, Rummy.
Okay.
After 2 hours of dancing and not a whole lot of drinking, Homer realizes what he's become, and more to the point, that he's gonna have to avoid Moe's unless he really needs to go there. He kinda blames Barney for ruining the dynamic, and they're pretty frosty with each other when they next meet at the Quickie Mart.
Me too. Good day then. Good day then is right. Ta, ta, ta.
Hey, you did not pay for that beer.
I had Homer down as many things, but being a shoplifter certainly wasn't one of them. Also, there's like 12 beers there, so he's certainly cutting back on the drinking even when he's not at Moe's. Anyway, Barney decides that as part of his healing, he needs to go back to Moe's to apologize for all the damage he's caused over the years, and as he does, a huge wildfire breaks out. And he's the only person who's had any experience flying a helicopter who can help put it out. Of course, Homer tags along for the ride.
My nerves are shot. Beer! That's what I need!
No, Barney, you've done so well. Just fly to the fire and forget the beers. Quick, Homer, stop him!
Give me that! Yeah, it's warm. You can't drink them all! Oh, yes, I can. Give me that! I won't let you give up now. When you worked so hard to be the greatest.
Now that's what I call a real friend. Chucking down 6 beers in no time at all to keep your pal on the straight and narrow. What Homer doesn't know, though, is that in the fire, Bart and Lisa have been trapped. So I guess it's all the more reason for him to help Barney out.
You did it, Dad!
Everyone's safe and sound, and Barney's off the drink. Now that's what I call a nice end to an episode. Wait, there's more?
Nobody gets away from Mo. Nobody.
Remind me to never get on the wrong side of Mo. This is a pretty wholesome episode, and Homer, while drunk, managed to save the lives of 3 people, or prolong the lives of 3, because we both know Barney's gonna hit the booze hard again at some point. But how hard did Homer hit the booze here? Well, all in all, he managed to stuff up a total of 21 beers, or just over 2 gallons of the stuff. I know it's not surprising, but Homer's got a bit of a reputation for being a drunk, and when you get as regularly wasted as he does, sometimes your mind starts playing tricks on you. Or at least that's what everyone else thinks in the episode The Springfield Files. And it starts with Homer wanting to try a tipple instead of his regular duff, and Mo sees an opportunity to grab a quick buck.
It's Friday night, Mo. I want to try something special.
Sure. Here you go. Doof. From Sweden.
Go! Wait a minute. This is Duff.
I know Homer's pretty dense, but the guy drinks Duff every day. You are never going to be able to fool him. Plus, he's literally already 3 bottles deep, so let's make that 4. Seeing as Mo's plan didn't quite work out, he decides to actually give Homer something a little more premium. Well, I say premium.
Bold, refreshing, and something I can't quite put my finger on.
Needs more dog.
Homer clearly likes the stuff, and he keeps on sinking the new beer into the early hours of the next morning.
Well, it's 1 a.m. Better go home and spend some quality time with the kids.
On his way home, though, he takes a little detour through the deep, dark woods and stumbles onto some pretty scary stuff. Speaking from experience, diets are pretty scary, but not quite as scary as glowing green aliens.
Please, don't hurt me.
Don't be afraid.
Just like any of us, Homer gets the hell out of there and speeds home to tell Marge about what he's just seen. But she just chalks it up to one too many duffs.
It was an alien, Marge. It appeared in front of me and said, "Don't be afraid."
You've been drinking?
No. Well, 10 beers.
So that's verbal confirmation of our first gallon of the episode. Marge isn't the only one in the family that doesn't believe Homer, and Bart decides he's gonna poke some fun at his dad.
I am the thing from Uranus.
Oh.
Seeing as his family aren't taking him seriously, Homer heads down to the Springfield police station to file a report, but he's not gonna have much luck with Wiggum and the boys either.
Very compelling, Mr. Jackass. Simpson. So I'll just type it up on my invisible typewriter.
All this commotion about an alien does grab the attention of someone, though, or should I say someone's, FBI agents Mulder and Scully. Yeah, the ones from the X-Files. And they track Homer down to retrace his steps to get to the bottom of his alien claim.
You are one fine-looking woman, lady. If I wasn't married, I'd go out with you like that.
Remember the first time he saw the alien, he only had 10 beers? Well, he sunk 7 here, and there's no sign he's gonna slow down either.
Says blue M&M, red M&M, they all wind up the same.
There's another 9 beers here, which puts him way over the amount he had when he first had his encounter. So the agents wait for him to sober up and take him back to the place where it all went down, but what they find sure ain't no alien.
For the love of God, help me! I've been here for 4 days and a turtle's got a hold of my teeth!
Seeing a boatload of alcohol in Abe as the most likely cause of Homer's encounter, the FBI agents brush off the case and just label Homer as a bad drunk. It's really eating Homer up, though, as he's sure he saw an alien. So he demands everyone, believer or non-believer, to head down to the woods when he realizes that the alien appears every Friday night.
There it is!
Homie, I'm so sorry I doubted you.
But us humans can't help being ourselves, and instead of being interested in the alien, the people of Springfield try to kill it. That is until Smithers steps in. So there we have it. It wasn't an alien after all. It was just a radioactive old man who was uncharacteristically happy thanks to the meds he was on. I guess you could say, though, that this has been a pretty sobering experience for Homer. Or not. Speaking of that, though, during his alien escapade, Homer put away a total of 26 beers, which is just over 2.5 gallons. We're only just halfway through Homer's binge, and he's already sitting at 46.4 gallons, which doesn't sound like a lot, but remember, this is him trying to kick his habit. Don't worry, his drinking is about to fracking explode, thanks to especially the time Homer gets to step into Duffman's shoes. When you think of McDonald's, you usually think of Ronald McDonald, or fries. When you think of Disney, you think of Mickey Mouse, or fries. And when you think of Duff, you think of Duffman. Oh yeah, but it's more like, oh no, for him in the episode waiting for Duffman because he gets seriously injured on the job.
1, 2, 3. Oh, God!
Something
Something's wrong with Barry.
I don't know what I expected his name to be, but it certainly wasn't Barry. Well, let's forget his name, because while he's undergoing an emergency hip replacement, Springfield has no Duffman, so Duff decides to find a replacement with what else but a reality TV show. And Homer signs himself right on up.
Ugh! Vo-de-o-do-do!
Oh, yeah!
Homer's an early frontrunner to replace Barry as Duffman, but while the contestants slowly get whittled down, a new rival steps into the picture and takes Homer's title.
The real winner is America's new hero, contestant number 12.
While number 12 is busy celebrating, though, the judges notice something that'll completely disqualify him from the contest.
Old Ogdenville Ale, he drinks a competitor. Reverse the confetti. Check the fat guy for tattoos.
Just one that says Marge Madness.
So, by sheer dumb luck, Homer is the new Duffman. Now that's surely worthy of an oh yeah.
Woohoo! I mean, oh yeah!
Being Duffman ain't easy, though, and comes with a few responsibilities that Homer wasn't aware of when signing up. Mainly this one.
We've injected a chip in you that detects the slightest presence of alcohol in your blood. You see, Duffman cannot drink.
What?
Can't drink? That was the whole appeal for Homer. He gets to be the face of a brand he loves and have access to as much beer as he can drink. In fairness, though, Barry doesn't exactly look like he drinks. The only six-pack he has are his abs. Obviously, Homer doesn't stick to the rules, and here's what happens if a bit of beer enters his system.
Hey, this stuff is pretty good.
Foamy Marge.
That's the chip. No drinking.
So biologically, Homer literally can't drink, otherwise he'd go into a massive seizure, which means he's got to live and breathe Duff without any of the benefits, and he can't even have a drink with the boys no more.
Can you believe they put a chip in my arm and I can't drink beer? Soft break.
Maybe Mo could dig it out with a corkscrew.
And he's still got to do all those public appearances and commercials. All this time off the beers made Homer see the light that the company that he works for forcefully injected him with a chip which could kill him. So during one of his public appearances, he rebels against the company.
And today in saying, I've had enough of that life-ruining Duff.
Why the hell did you do this?
Because Duffman is a hero, and with great taste comes great responsibility.
With an angry mob forming and targeting Homer as the face of a wicked company, the CEO of Duff gives him one last chance to go back on his word and, more importantly, to drink a beer. Now, you know that chip I just mentioned? Well,
Gusto.
But the chip!
There never was a chip. It was all the power of suggestion.
This is a new Homer we're talking about here. A man who sees the world in a different light, and a man who understands the damage alcohol can do to society, and a man who has gone well past the need for beer.
You'll be my hero. Now you're pushing it.
Right. Well, it's a bit awkward. Not only does Homer relapse, he relapses in a big way, sinking 219 beers. A whopping 21.9 gallons of the stuff, or 75 liters if you're watching from Europe. I guess if you can't beat the bad guys, you join the bad guys. Although there was no need to try and drink a living mascot like he did at the end there. Now that he's got the taste for the stuff again, things are about to frackin' skyrocket. It's crazy to think that just over 100 years ago, it was illegal to drink alcohol in the USA thanks to the Prohibition. I mean, can you imagine what Homer would have done back in those times? Well, actually, you don't have to imagine, because in Homer versus the 18th Amendment, alcohol is once again completely outlawed in Springfield. Booze starts getting a bad name after a St. Patty's Day celebration goes really wrong.
Hey, Homer, ain't that your kid on TV?
What are you looking at?
Thanks to some irresponsible adults letting a child get wasted on live TV, the town pulls the plug on booze completely, and I'm sure you guys can figure out who it hurts the most. But just like back in the day, there are still some underground operations running to keep up with the beer demand, and of course, it's all at Moe's.
Glad you're finally back in business, Mo.
Yeah, that was a scary couple of hours.
Prohibition soon stamps out Moe's Tavern, though, as they hire a new bigwig detective to take on the case to make sure no more beer is being supplied through town. Homer, meanwhile, decides he's got one opportunity to snag the excess beer, taking it home to be stashed away in bowling balls, because he's about to become the Springfield Beer Baron.
Here you go, Bond. That'll be $45.
$45?
Hey, $45 is pretty cheap. Beer's in high demand with low supply. But while Homer's at it, you best believe he's making a pretty penny.
You see, boy?
Since the demand is so high, though, it's not long before Homer's stash is running dry and that top-tier detective has him in his sights. He actually arrests Homer and is about to send him into orbit via catapult. I assume it's old school laws, old school punishments. But before he's sentenced, Marge steps in defense of Homer and beer.
But prohibition has cost us our freedom. Our freedom to drink.
With the town now in favor of drinking again, all the confiscated alcohol is released and the town throws a gigantic party.
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
We saw him glass in hand at the end there, standing on top of 13 barrels of beer. If that Duff episode is anything to go by, we know he can get pretty thirsty when he's been off the stuff. So I have no doubt in my mind that he put away all 13 barrels, which are 31 gallons a pop. That's 403 gallons. We gotta add the 3 beers too, of course. Every drop counts, so that's a grand prohibition total of 403.3 gallons. Some of Homer's greatest drinking moments don't come in the form of full episodes, like one of my favorite times Homer drank a beer was from the episode where Bart gets in trouble with Australia.
Famous giant beers I heard so much about.
Something wrong, Yank?
No, it's pretty big, I guess.
Now that's a big can of beer, all right. But it certainly isn't as big as the barrel of booze he stole from under a ship.
Horseplay? Roughhousing? Horsehousing? And here's the knave what's responsible.
Homer doesn't always get wasted just for the fun of it. Sometimes he does it because he loves his family. And I know that sounds like something an addict would say, but I'm serious. He drinks a whole trash bag's worth of beer for Lisa.
There you go, honey. That's about all the recycling I can handle today.
Dad, if you just drink one more, I'll have a full bag.
Oh, but Daddy doesn't feel so good.
I never want to hear you guys say Homer's a bad dad. He just about gave himself liver failure to make his daughter happy. Who am I kidding? The guy's liver's made out of steel. He can handle 75 cans no problem if he drinks this many in like 3 days. It's hard to even try and count how many cans he's gone through here. First, he made a pyramid, which is a couple hundred cans, then a mini Taj Mahal, and then an even bigger outline of a city and a bridge. I've sat and tried to count each individual can here for like 45 minutes. And while it's pretty impossible, I think he's drunk around 5,350 cans of Duff in that little montage alone. So, with that mammoth amount and all the other smatterings of beer in this little quick fire section, we've had a massive can of beer, a barrel, 5,425 cans, which totals up to a gigantic 542.5 gallons. And to think, all of these instances were just a little asides which could have totally been missed. Hey, what can I say? I got eagle eyes, man. That brings our grand total up to 10,231 beers, or 1,023.18 gallons. But still, we don't see every single drink that touched Homer's lips throughout the show. However, we do know that Homer first started drinking when he was 17, and he was fond of getting in a 12-pack, so let's say every week in his youth until he was 21, he had 12 beers. In those 4 years, that would be 2,496 beers. Then, when we got to the legal drinking age, we know from earlier his usual session is like 10 beers. So from 21 to 39, which is his age now, there's 18 years of drinking 10 beers every single day. So you know this is going to be huge. Not counting leap years, that means Homer would have had 3,650 beers a year. And if we multiply that by 18, we get 65,700. So let's add that with the total from before he was 21, and that brings us to 68,196 beers, or 6,819.6 gallons, which is also 90 king-sized bathtubs full of Duff. Now that's just crazy. Which is precisely what I can say about a lot of other characters, like the one who just popped up on screen now. So give them a click to find out more about their story. Thanks for watching.